Hello everyone. Welcome to ixamBee. Today we have with us Mr. Sanjay Kumar, who has cleared the NIACL AO exam and is now an AO administrative officer with NIACL. So many congratulations, Sanjay, on your selection.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
And thank you for coming on our platform to share your story and to help very students who dream to clear various government exams. So very, very interesting story of Sanjay that he was telling me. We'll go into it. But before, Sanjay, why don't you tell a little about your background to us before we start into how you started your preparation and cleared NIACL exam?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. And first of all, I would like to thank ixamBee team because definitely, when I used to see videos and interviews of other students, I really wanted to do one of these interviews. And it was like, I really wanted to, let people know about what I have gone through and how I have prepared. And really, I want to thank ixamBee team for giving me the chance to let people know about my journey. And so about myself, I have been born and brought up in Sonbhadra district of Uttar Pradesh. I have did my schooling from a co-ed school, and that too in 2008. Then I did my BTech in electrical engineering, and I passed out in 2012. After which I gave 3 attempts to CAT, and in 2016 I gave my last attempt in CAT, and I was able to clear the written exam, but I was not able to clear the interview. And after those 3 years really helped me because in those 3 years only I got to know that I like teaching. So after CAT I went into teaching, and from past 6 years I've been teaching in Bombay mathematics till 10th standard. And so that is what my journey is. And actually I started preparing in August 2021. So the preparation journey was really short, and I would really like people to know about it.
Thanks, Sanjay, for telling that. So actually, what I see from Sanjay's profile, it's never too late to dream and start and actually achieve your dreams. So Sanjay, like you mentioned, you have been teaching for 6 years, and then you thought of giving government exams in the banking and insurance space. And you started in August 2021 itself and rigorously started preparing. So what motivated you to come back, leave teaching, or even try for government exams at a late stage, if I may say that?
Ma'am, first I would say, ma'am, that I could realize thinking about my life was only after graduation, and that was the first decision I made. And that decision is because I never had a dream. So I always told myself, whatever I do in my life, I'll give my best at it. So when I was leaving teaching, I was little sad why I'm leaving it. But the other reason, the most important reason why I chose government job was my parents, since they are old and they are retired. So I had to take care of them. So, and living in Bombay and doing teaching, it was really difficult to travel from Bombay to Varanasi after every 2 months. So everything was getting hampered. So I decided finally that, I should go for government jobs and I'll keep my parents with myself. So my parents was the biggest motivating factor for me, ma'am. So I did it for them only.
Very, very, very nice thought, actually, that we should take care. And sometimes we take decisions, like you said, Sanjay, you didn't have a dream initially, but
yes, ma'am.
If I look at it, maybe we don't know many times that we don't have a dream, but somewhere subconsciously it is there. So for you, maybe it is subconsciously you are realizing it now, that it was more about making life comfortable for your parents, and this is a path that you chose that will help you achieve that, and you worked hard towards it. So how did you start? In August, as you said, you started preparing for banking and insurance exams. So how did you start? How were you preparing? What time you were spending in preparing, and were you continuing your job while preparing, Sanjay?
Yes, ma'am. So since this last year, I had few students to teach. So this was a plus point with me, my teaching. So I had enough time to study. So it all started on 16th of August when IDBI PGDM form I filled. And then one thing I believe in life, ma'am, I'm 31 years, I have been doing job and I have been studying. One thing I have realized is when you start something with chaos. I started my preparation with complete chaos, IDBI. I didn't know what I was studying, current affairs, everything, but that set the tone for me for other exams, how to clear the other exam. Because I knew when I set to prepare something, I need to give time, because I am not that, my mind is not as sharp as other students. It takes me time to grasp things. It takes me making notes. I have to make notes to actually study something, be it maths, be it reasoning. So it takes me enough time to understand something. So I knew that I am competing with one of the best students, best aspirants of the country. And they are actually giving their full 100% every time they are sitting to study. And these numbers are not small. We'll see for any exam, anywhere around 5,000 to 10,000 students are actually giving their best 100% every time. So one thing I always knew was I needed time. So I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning, and I started my preparation at 4 o'clock in the morning. I started studying. Then I went on to study till 6 p.m. in the evening. And in between, I used to take a little bit of rest. So every day I told myself, I'm going to study 14, 15 hours, no matter what the outcome is, but I'm going to study this much. And I had the habit during my CAT preparation. So I knew I could do it. It was just a matter of few days that it will take a toll on me, that otherwise I have never shied away from studying. And that is what students should realize. If you shy away from studying, because what happens once we clear one government exam, there is always in our mind, let's go for another exam. So if we don't have that habit of studying, then it really becomes difficult to actually succeed. So this is how it started at 16th of August, ma'am. So IDBI was my first paper. And I told myself that if I am not able to clear this paper in 20 days, no matter, this will help me to clear the other exams, because this will give me a habit. This will give me a habit. Yes, ma'am. So those 20 days, I also don't remember today what I did in those 20 days. It was so intense, those 20 days, because straight away after 6 years, I was sitting to study for 15 hours. And it was really, really challenging for me. I had to change so many things. I had to leave non-vegetarian, then I have to eat one meal in a day so that I am awake for most of the time. So there were so many changes I made in my life, ma'am, just to study for 16 hours. I used to sleep at 8:30 in the night. So that is one thing. Then after IDBI, I actually gave few mocks of NICL, and I saw myself where I am standing right now. This is I did with every exam. So when I gave 3-4 marks, I came to know my weak points. Like my weak points was reasoning. CAT reasoning and this reasoning is really different. So I had to give time to understand each topic. And with me, ma'am, it is always that if I pick up a topic, I will not leave it unless and until I'm able to solve all the questions of it. So for me, it is always like you can give me any question of that particular topic, I will solve it and give it back to you. So I don't leave a chapter hanging. So the question comes in exam and I am thinking, yeah, maine to kiya tha and I'm not able to do it right now.
Very exhaustive. So that is you believe in exhaustive
yes,
practice and all.
Yes, ma'am. And I also believe that my one during CAT also I had this habit that I'll never ask doubts. Whatever doubts I have, I'll clear it myself, because that really helps in generating that mind power. And I have seen it helps, ma'am. So reasoning was this approach I followed. I looked at few videos on YouTube, and I decided, I'm going to go with this only. I will see these videos, and then it was all about practice. And so
very important, and actually.
Yeah. So reasoning, what I did, there are small topics. So for reasoning, what I did, I used to give 5 minutes time. I used to sit and I started solving questions. Let's say 5 minutes, I used to take 15 questions, different topics. So what happened in 1 hour, I used to do 8 to 10 topics. So reasoning, I used to do like that. And English was always a strong point for me, ma'am, after CAT. Yeah. And frankly speaking, ma'am, I have watched a lot of movies. That can be one plus point. Yes, ma'am. Lot movies I have watched. So that always helped me. So, and I look English in a different perspective, ma'am. I look English like if it looks good while reading. If you have little knowledge about English, all you can do is you can just read the statement, and I go with positive and negative sort of things, ma'am. If a statement is positive, so what kind of word can fit over there? If a statement is negative, so English, my approach with all the topics in English was same, man. So one thing I left in English was error spotting, man. I never used to do that. because that required huge amount of, memorizing of rules.
Okay.
So I was always away from that one topic. Apart from that, I did everything in English.
But
Then
if you have been regular with English, many times without knowing the exact rule, we are still able to spot the error.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. That is what I'm saying. English, if it looks good in while reading, then it is okay. So that is what my approach was in English. So English, I never took any material or anything. It was just regular mock test and all.
And GA?
And GA, I actually took referred to a capsule online, and there only I followed. And GA, I prepared for 3 months. Current affairs I did, and GA was actually I did actually I used to prepare GA in the last 1 month, ma'am. Whichever exam I had last 15 days or 20 days, I used to prepare. I used to make notes, and then I used to continually reading it, ma'am. That helped. GA I focused, and after NICL exam only I realized, what important role GA plays in any exam, because that will definitely increase your marks to a higher level. If you are good, if somebody has studied GA, and if they want to really have good marks in the mains, then it's really important that you should do GA properly, because currently we are seeing all the mains paper are getting tougher and tougher.
So
Yeah.
a lot of good points I'm taking out, and I'm repeating it for the benefit of the viewers and the candidates who are going to prepare. So first thing that I noticed when you started telling me, you had a very proper study plan.
Yes,
you had a timetable made for you know, and you made sacrifices to fit into it, right?
yes,
And you practiced, and you, before making that plan, what I noticed was you knew yourself in terms of your strengths and weaknesses. So like you
definitely, ma'am.
mentioned that I am somebody who needs to make own notes. I'm a person who needs to do every detail, only then I get comfortable and confident, right? So
Yes,
until
ma'am.
unless we know this about ourselves, there may be people who are okay reading from others' notes, but there will be people who will not be able to grasp things till they write down themselves and make their own notes. So having
Yes,
that understanding, doing that SWOT analysis, and then making a plan, I think is a very critical, important step, and a good step in starting the preparation. So that clarity, I think, is very important, Sanjay, that you mentioned, and I will suggest, many students sometimes they just get haywire. Another thing that you mentioned was like you looked at YouTube videos for the rules, and once you saw those rules, then you practiced all types of questions related to that topic.
yes, ma'am.
That's again a very important thing. Many times we look at the rules and we say, oh, we know it all, and then we sit down and we
Yes,
then
ma'am.
don't spend time on practicing. But this is very important for all the competitive exams, that QRE knowing is not enough. It's about practice.
All about practice. Yes.
It's all about practice, improving your accuracy, improving your speed, and there's no shortcut to it. You may have shortcut tricks to solve a question, but there's no actually shortcut to the practice and the preparation that you will need. And third very important point, and that I really liked about what you said, was GA, that you were reading, revising again and again and again.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we need to be able to recall, and that doesn't happen without the revision. So we have to spend adequate time to be able to revise what we have read and what we have studied. So very important points, actually, Sanjay. You've brought out from your entire preparation, very
Yes,
systematic
ma'am.
preparation, I will say, that Sanjay has done, and apt to his style of study, right? So we really need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
know our weaknesses, our strengths. Like English was his strength, so he knew that is something I don't want to spend more time on, but reasoning was something that was a new game for him. And one last more point that I remembered from what you had said was appreciating your competition, taking it seriously to a level that it
Yes, ma'am.
motivates you to study and not discourages you. So, Sanjay, what I
Definitely.
understand from what you said, if I am right, you knew it is a tough exam, and there are thousands and in fact even lakhs of students writing it. and they have been preparing for years, so they may be ahead of you in terms of competition, in terms of preparation, in terms of knowledge. However, that did not discourage you. You took that as a motivation that you have to give more than 100% of yours. So a
Yes,
very,
ma'am.
very important point, Sanjay. We have to actually take that as a motivation and not as a discouragement or a reason to not give our best. So
Yes, ma'am.
very important point, Sanjay. Thanks for sharing this. So, once the result came out for the written exam, Sanjay, I'm sure you must be very, very excited. But
Yes, ma'am.
but still you had one more leg to go, which was the interview.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what happened? How did you prepare for interview? Did you take it as seriously as you had taken your exam?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, interview. I came to realize how important interviews were when I saw the weightage. So when we see the weightage of interview, it's really, really important that you do good in interviews. And after, ma'am, and I really want to thank IXMB team for that, because the way IXMB team has helped me in preparing for the interview, be it NICL, and I also cleared, ma'am, IBPSPO.
Okay,
And
congratulations,
yes,
Sanjay.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So I took, for both the interviews, I took IXMB preparations, interview guidance. And one very good thing I liked about IXMB team was, the feedback was so awesome and so good. And the variety of questions that was asked in the interview, during the mock interviews by the IXMB team faculties, it was really, really good to go through so many questions. And it was like relaxing for me. Actually, they can ask anything, no matter. I have to be confident. And ma'am, when I went for the interview, it's not about what wrong and right you are saying. It's all about how calm you are, how composed you are, how you are carrying yourself. Though you need to give few correct answers, but those answers should be like common answers, common questions they are asking. That are not the technical questions they are actually looking for, whether you know the technicality of the job or not. They are actually seeking that your confidence level is what. So I scored 81 marks in interview of IBPSPO.
Wow.
And though I gave 2-3 wrong answers, but yet I scored 81, because the other general questions regarding the customer and relationship with the employee, these questions were asked to me. So that I gave a proper explanation. So that made all the difference. And all my answers, whether I was giving a wrong answer also, or whether I was saying I don't know, didn't give a wrong answer. I always said, sir, I am not aware of it. So that, like, the way you are saying it, and you have to be composed. I saw so many students, they were 21 years old, 22 years old, and they were interacting with me because I was all composed, and they were so nervous, all because they were expecting certain questions to come. They should ask me this only, they should not ask me this. But this is not all about that. It's all about you go with a free mind in the interviews, and IXMB team helped me with that. They taught me in such a way that they helped me go with a free mind in the interview. And I was
Glad.
totally calm. Yes, ma'am. And I will always suggest everyone, because I had 6 years back when I was taking mock interviews for CAT, they were also not so intense and so clarity wise. It was not so good as I had seen for NICL and IBPSPO, ma'am. So I would really thank IXMB team for that, ma'am.
Thank you, Sanjay, for that. And I will, give this all credit to our panel members because they are very experienced themselves. They have worked in, various government organizations, even in the private sector. So they carry with them a lot of experience of interacting and knowing the expectations of any recruiter in this there. And that's why, and they also understand the challenges, the anxiety that the candidate is carrying. And that's very well said. Yes, there are certain points on which a person can prepare for interview, but ultimately nobody knows what the interview will go like on
Definitely,
that
ma'am.
day. And that's why it's so important to be calm, to be ready to, and be accepting, accept the fact that you should be ready for any kind of answer, any kind
Yes,
of
ma'am.
question,
Definitely.
sorry, that may come across to you. So yes, Sanjay, you carried that maturity and calmness. I'm sure this helped you. As you are stating, you got such good marks in your interviews. So I'm glad, and I will definitely pass on your compliments to the panel members, as
Thank you,
we
ma'am.
would
Thank you so much, ma'am.
always want more and more students to get confident and feel confident about themselves in
Ma'am, I
interviews.
would like to add few
Yes,
points
please.
for the aspirants. Ma'am, I
Yeah.
have seen people preparing for it. I have done CAT preparation. So that mistakes I didn't do this time. And those mistakes are basically, ma'am, what we do is we linger too much around easy stuff. During my
Oh,
CAT preparation also, for 2 years, what I did was I was running away from hard questions. But in the third attempt, I told myself, enough of running. I'm not going to run anymore. I will deal with what is tough. And this preparation also, I did the same thing. And I'll tell a simple thing, ma'am, for 1 minute. Mathematics, I'm a mathematics teacher. I'm very good in arithmetic topic. But what happened during my preparation was arithmetic for me, ma'am, I have an approach of solution writing and all. That is the way I teach. But these exams, they don't require solution writing. They require shortcuts. And I'm not at all good with shortcuts. So first week into preparation, and I was confused. What should I do? What should I not do? Should I go for the arithmetic 10, 11 questions? Should I learn the shortcuts? I did give 2, 3 days for learning the shortcuts, but then I realized, no point. I will not attempt arithmetic questions in my exams also, no matter what. So these are the things that students should plan for. Ma'am, they are busy watching so many videos. They watch, let's watch this also, and this also. It's not about watching videos. It's all about, pick up a topic and don't leave the topic until you get every question of it. It's as simple as that, ma'am. Whether it is reasoning, whether it is mathematics, pick any topic, and there are 100 materials you can solve. There are 1,000 questions for each topic. You take any question, start solving, and don't leave the topic unless and until you can solve all the questions related to it. And pick a method. Either you want to go for solution part or you want to go for shortcut. Now, shortcut is very tricky. Me being a teacher, then also it rattled me sometimes. Some questions rattled me, ma'am, that, let's leave shortcut. It's not my cup of tea. And in 40 days, I could not have adopted to a new method of solving. Yeah. So definitely I told myself, I'm not going to attempt arithmetic questions, be it in mains, be it in this. So I went attempting DI and other questions, ma'am. So for other remaining aspirants, I would always suggest them be good in one field, be it aptitude, be it English, be it reasoning. You have to be good in one subject. And remaining, you can do at let's say 20 questions. And one subject, you have to definitely do 30 questions. So like this, if you see, we reach 70 marks. And one very important thing which students don't understand is speed and accuracy. These two are very important, ma'am, because these are speed exams, ma'am. And clearing the prelims is the toughest challenge. And I always told myself, ma'am, if I am coming out of the exam hall, I should be knowing whether I'm going to clear that exam at that very moment. So for me, it was always like if NICL, I gave the exam, I went out and I was definitely sure I'm going to clear the cutoff. Same thing happened with IBPS PO in mains and pre both. So students need to realize that if you are preparing and after giving a mock test also, you should be able to tell that, this is the cutoff of this paper and I will clear if this paper comes in exam. So that is the level of preparation that is required, because in coming times, the preparation is going to be very tough. And the exams, and the exams are going to be tougher. The way it is going to be tough and tough. So the children have to adopt to new methods now. They have to be more, more clear about the concepts and more clear about what they are strong in. So these are few things I would like to tell the aspirants now.
Thank you, Sanjay, for sharing so much in detail, and which is very accurate. Practice, knowing your strength and weak areas, and accordingly not running from what is not your comfortable zone. So this
Yes,
is very true.
definitely.
As humans, not just students, as humans, we all like to be in a comfort zone. And when we have to come out of it, we either run away from it or we start criticizing it. So but yes, we have to accept those things, understand their importance, and move towards it. So very important. I'm sure, Sanjay, your all the details that you've given and all the suggestions you have given will be very, very helpful to the aspirants, and they will encourage and motivate them to do more than 100% and come out with flying colors and achieve their dreams.
Thank you so much.
And many congratulations again, and best wishes for your future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And thank you, the ixamBee team also, ma'am, for all the efforts they have done.
Thank you.